Ever get that feeling?
Yeah.
Like it deep down, like something at work just sits wrong with you.
Yeah.
It clashes with your values, the things you believe in, but figuring out what to actually do about it, that's the tough part,
Oh,
right?
that. Absolutely.
And that's what we're diving into today, how our unsense of what's right bumps up against the realities of our careers.
Right.
And to help us unpack all of this, we've got an expert in the house.
Happy to be here.
So we've been digging into some articles about this, this whole values conflict thing.
Mm-hmm.
And it seems like it's something a lot of professionals struggle with.
Oh, absolutely. And it's especially tough in fields like healthcare. I mean, can you imagine?
Yeah, I was just going to say, one of the articles had this healthcare worker was so frustrated.
Yeah.
It was about pay disparities at their organization.
Yeah.
Didn't seem right,
Yeah.
Like, how can you reconcile that with a sense of fairness, right?
Exactly. And that's a perfect example of those values conflicts we're talking about.
And this person was really torn. Like, do I speak up, maybe shake things up a bit?
Right.
Or do you stay quiet and just, I don't know, feel like you're compromising what you believe in?
Tough spot to be in. And that's actually where coaching can play a really interesting role.
Yeah, that's what I thought was so interesting. Because you think coaching, it's all about someone telling you what to do.
Right. Right.
Yeah.
It's like, here's the answer.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But that's not what this was about at all.
No, not at all. It's more about guiding you to uncover your own answers.
Yes.
Ones that actually align with your own values.
And I love how some of the coaching sessions were described, using these powerful questions.
Oh, yeah.
Like not even trying to solve the problem outright, but just getting you thinking.
It's all about reflection.
Yes. Things like, how do you stay true to your values in this specific situation?
Makes you think, right.
It really does. So it's about looking deeper, considering all the angles.
Exactly. It's not about knee-jerk reactions. It's about taking that step back.
Now, one thing I found really helpful was this idea of values mapping.
Oh, interesting.
Have you come across that in your work?
I have, yeah. It's a great tool. Basically, it helps you figure out which values are most important to you, especially when you're facing a tough decision. Because, it's rarely black and white. You might value fairness, for example, but you might also value loyalty to your colleagues or even just keeping your job.
Exactly.
It's about figuring out how all those values work together and which ones are non-negotiable for you.
That makes so much sense. So it's like this balancing act, right?
Yeah.
On the one hand, you've got this strong urge to act, to stay true to your values.
Right.
But then there's this other side, this need to step back, think it through.
Absolutely. It's not about suppressing that urge to act. It's about making sure your actions are aligned with your values.
So how does a coach actually help with that? I mean, especially when these are such personal, emotionally charged situations.
That's where creating a safe space is so crucial. You have to feel comfortable being open and honest, even if it's messy.
Right, right.
A good coach won't judge you for your feelings or your doubts. They're there to listen and help you sort through it all.
So it's more about creating that space for self-discovery then.
Exactly. It's not about me having all the answers. It's about giving you the tools and the support to discover those answers for yourself.
Even when those answers are tough.
Especially then. Sometimes the most important insights come from exploring those difficult places.
It's about aligning ultimately who you are as a person with what you do professionally.
Precisely. It's not always easy, but it's so worth it. When you can show up to work as your authentic self aligned with your values, it just changes everything.
Absolutely. And on that note, as we wrap up this deep dive, it makes you think, doesn't it?
It really does.
What about our own experiences? Think about a time when you felt that tension, that clash between your values and what was happening at work. What did you do? And knowing what we've talked about today, would you approach things any differently now? Something to think about, right?
Definitely.
Food for thought. Until next time, everyone.